Yeah, I don't, I can't tell you what New World Orders and stuff up to, as far as agendas and stuff go. What it looks like to me, okay, is genocidal operations to target people with very selfish and bad brain activity. But the thing about it is by doing so, that also shows that you have bad and selfish brain activity. If you're not doing everything in your ability to share the truth of the perfection of the Gospels and the Lord's Prayer, so people have the best information available. Like Solomon talks about Proverbs. Wise men, you have to go and get counsel for everybody so you can cut through the crap and know good from bad and be able to have people sit there and understand it and explain it. So, two and two is four. And if somebody says it's seven, they're just trying to make $3 interest off of your abuse, and your abuse is not necessary because interest isn't real and dollars aren't real and cents aren't real, and common sense is real hard to find when people believe in dollars and cents, right? And so you got these people, and they just do things. I sat and watched that stuff. The last one named, miracles in Israel, stuff. And I do things because I said I would do it, and it's the right thing to do. I said to Jesus that I would get up and do what he asked me to do when I was a kid. He said I was going to be the one that helps him stop threats of nuclear war to kill everybody if they can't dominate them with money. And in Deming, when I was 13, I told my sister and my brother-in-law, who were enticed into the Pentecostal church, and he said, Jesus is God and he died for us. And I said, I'm not going to do that, and I'm not going to do that to him. I love him. I already know what he did for me, and I'm not going to ask what Jesus can do. I already know what Jesus did for me. I'm going to ask what I can do for him. Like, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. But I was better than that, because like Haile Selassie said, it's one big dirt clod covered by one big body of water. And so I ask what I can do for the Lord, so we can all have faith and be righteous and understand natural laws and love one another through God's glory. So that's what I told him I was going to do at 13. And I said it. And at the time, I did not know. I said that in front of Spencer J. Kimball, Gordon B. Hinckley, the Quorum of the 12, the Vatican, Pope John Paul, who was in office then. Um, I, I think at that time it was Ronald Reagan, Ronald Reagan and a bunch of people like that. I did not know that those type of people had access to my life and could listen to what I was talking about in regards to religion and how I was saying it and what I was doing. And I think, at the time I thought, to myself, when I went to Sierra Vista and did all the things I did and was going through that, I thought people would be impressed and think, well, naturally, this is the guy. There was very few that were like that. And when I went to Sierra Vista, the people that were most excited, I met a Kurdish gentleman when we talked about Lord Saladin. I met another man from Turkey who was excited because we talked about Saladin. And he sat there outside the star and he was excited. And I said, I know that these are pragmatic gospels shared through people that are faithful throughout time. And he smiled and I said, and I know the Quran has the, the truth in it that Muhammad speaks to me, because um, Gabriel and Michael are in that, like they are in the Book of Mormon and stuff like that too. And I've got two nephews from Deming, and he smiled and shook his head and said, "Yeah, I totally agree." And he was excited because his people, like the Kurdan gentleman that I met, who was excited because we talked about him, and the other person told me about the Hajj, where the three men left to go on the Holy Hajj, and they got outside of town and saw a woman with her children trying to feed her kid mud and pebbles. And he knew that would clog up the kid's immune system, and saw that kills children if they feed it, but she was just trying to keep her kids full so they would be uncomfortable while dying. Basically she was giving up. And he stopped. He took all his Hodge money, and he went and got the children to play and the woman a place in the village, and got them food and set them up so they could actually have a place to live and stay and eat. And then he went back home, and that was his Hodge. And I was like, Those are the type of stories that Muhammad told me, in prayer before I ever read the Quran. And I was like, and everybody's like, well, they were just manipulating you, man. But I wrote down some of the stories that Muhammad told me, but I didn't speak them all out loud. He just kept talking to me. They were feeding them to you from the fort, man. It doesn't matter. Why don't they do it with you? And besides, the stories that Muhammad shared with me and still shares with me, like I did with my dad today, are more beautiful than anything any of the imams and clerics teach in mosque that talk people into mass murdering and strapping themselves with C4 and blowing up buses in Tel Aviv and blowing up airplanes across the world. So, nah, I don't buy all that shit. I don't buy all the shit that you guys say. They're doing this, they're just playing you, man. Why don't they do it with you? Why don't they do it with all of you? It only works on the weak-minded, I get it. But I'm the only person I know that stands up for the Lord's Prayer without fear, gets abused all the hell and back by military covert-out perverts that won't stop philanthropy because they're addicted to fighting and killing over money because they get off on it and it's a dopamine, adrenaline, brain chemical addiction. So I'm not buying any of your bullshit. And I don't know why you do. Oh, because you're addicted to it, because you just like it. But I watched some of the people, about the miracles in Israel and all that stuff, and I hate listening to it. Because I hate listening to, well, God did it. God told him to, and God appointed him. And it's just, I never, ever, 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 ever. Okay. One time in prayer when I got Haile Selassie, he sat and told me, because they were screwing my head. And he said, if you talk to God in prayer, this is what he would say: I am God Almighty, and I will do as I wish. And if I want you to be a man so you can nurture the earth and work the earth and give to those that need and love them eternally, I will do so. And if I decide to turn you into a cabbage or a head of lettuce and make you to where you will provide health and not disease through your selfishness, thus I will do so. So if I repopulate the earth with people that are righteous and take all those that are not righteous and make them into a head of lettuce and a cabbage, so be it. That would be what I decided to be before I'm God Almighty, is what Haile Selassie said. Okay. And they're like, he's speaking for God. No, he wasn't. He said if. Okay. He was giving you a narrative of how to control your desire to be God and tell you, okay, this is how I understand God, because God is all powerful, almighty, right? And so it was amazing. Now, I didn't, I look back at it now and think, was he screwing with him? No. He was correcting scientists at the fort by using me as the Ark of the Covenant at the time to relay the message of how to understand faith perfectly and how to confront an egomaniac with his ego and say, because Muhammad did that with me too. They did things that screwed my head to make it seem like the stars in this world. I was like, what are they doing? He goes, they can do things to manipulate you. They could use sedatives, medications, computer programs, all kinds of different stuff. So a lot of stuff you're going to see and feel here is them abusing you, so you doubt and question all your reality and what is real and what is not as real, and doubt the laws that are provided by God to provide for us and sustain us. I said, this is really hard and really difficult. Said, yeah, but you can get through it, and you'll get through it. You're a beautiful man, and your faith is unwavering, like Job and Jonah and me and Jesus and others, So like, okay, you can do this. Yeah, of course, naturally. But I can't stand hearing people use the word God in vain. And the word and say they talked to the Lord, and the Lord told them to build businesses and make lots of money in his name, and take that money and give it to people that mass murder people, that kill children with war machines, and then say, we've got to protect God's chosen people. You've got to protect yourself from your own lie, and you've got to help protect children from your lie. So understand, okay, that the way of David is the way of Israel, and I am the way, the truth, and life, and none unto truthful, eternal, faithful peace except through the Ark of the Covenant. Okay. And the Holy Grail is Mary, and that's my mom. And the first archangel of the apocalypse is Raphael, and that's my father. and I am the second coming of the one they call Lord, of Ralph, that redeemed the Gospels and still is unwavering in his faith and will help with the help of others that are I know they're trying to help me. We'll take artificial intelligence, have it reflect actual intelligence, and we will correct this. And in any day, any time, you can be living commercials and egotistical expression and egomaniac self-destruction. And when that technology shifts, we can all be sharing the perfection of the Lord's Prayer, understanding it, and overnight, worldwide, stop aggressive philanthropy and destructive, abusive manipulation through technology, philanthropy, through, so it can happen just like that. And you can wake up tomorrow. And where are you going to be? Are you going to be excited that we're living in the kingdom of heaven? Or are you going to want to kill yourself because you're no longer manipulative and it makes you feel powerful, special, and important because you make other people feel inadequate and small because they're not as aggressive and successful as you perceive yourself to be? Okay, guys, I love you. I hope this one loads real quick, too.